Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my precious pack. Time for another concept idea. This time the subjects are planetary features. So sit back and let's begin. The idea is essentially the same as a planetary concept idea I had featured on the channel much earlier on, but has been fleshed out with more features overall. The first being a new class of ship and unit class. The ship will be a spawn ship that is equipment for a Class 2 star hangar, which is a new module for our outposts under this concept idea, and the spawn ship would be a fast-moving boarding craft that upon entering within a certain distance of an enemy ship, it would be able to disable or seize control of the ship for a set duration. Now, I need your guys' feedback on this because I couldn't actually think of which it would be. Would it be disabling the ship or would it be controlling the ship? And I also didn't know the duration, so how long would it last, things like that. Those are ideas that I just didn't want to think too much into. I wanted to leave open for all of you to leave suggestions. And the concept will also feature a planetary view to show where all your actively deployed M.E.C.H infantry squads are displayed. And similar to how our general open view of the game looks, with fleets moving around, targets actively available, and more. Also, opening this feature up to PvP possibly, and future events, settings, things like that, such as events that feature both planetary combat involving squad versus squad, squad versus unique, squad versus ground outpost, fleet versus fleet, fleet versus outpost, and fleet versus unique targets. But that's it for the main portion. On to the next portion. On to the main feature of this concept idea. Planetary and unique combat. Planetary combat will feature unique tile sets in combat with features like blocked lines of fire with deployable cover, such as energy barriers, and natural cover such as rocks and small structures that will be scattered around the combat zone, and various other mechanics that I want to introduce to this specific feature to make it stand out from the rest of VEGA. And by that I mean the ship-to-ship combat warfare, ship-to-outpost warfare, things like that. I just want to make it a little bit more unique. And unique combat will be specialized targets as well that feature... Wow, when did I type that up? That is just the most messed up sentence I've ever seen. Let's just quickly fix this. Okay. And unique combat will be specialized targets that the player must carefully deal with and pick apart or risk losing a fight extremely easily. So it's a higher risk than what we have with the spaceships and things like that up above. The ideas behind this are actually to open up and show that the game still has avenues with which it can pursue to still grow out, add a new feature that could bring in a little bit of revenue, and just to make the game a little bit more fun and engaging by adding a new mechanic that the players can interact with. And finally, to make use of some of the assets that VEGA has had around for years now. The RPF. The Resource Processing Facilities could be given a role under this new concept idea as well, such as increased resource income to all players of the planet for as long as the RPF is under player control and not NPC control. This does not mean a specific player, this means any player. So long as the players control it, anyone within a planet would benefit. And what I was thinking for this one would be the targets, fleets would regularly dock with it, so you'd have security forces and things regularly sweeping through, so you'd have to actually capture it and control it and maintain that control. Finally, the big one that I want to talk about, and that is a system for planetary control and the rewards that come from it. So under this whole concept idea that is just bristling with features for the game, comes one in specific. That feature is planetary control. Planetary control, in my mind, works kinda like this. Each planet is divided into territories that at the beginning of the new week, all are reset to NPC control. The player and/or alliance must seize these territories in order to begin down their path to planetary control. Each sector, the player or the alliance, will add... gotta quickly correct that because that's not right. That's not sectors, that's territories. Okay. Each territory the player or alliance takes will add to a percentage counter that will be displayed as a bar at the bottom half of the screen, with a planetary view within the planetary view. This bar will represent the portion of the world that is currently controlled by that player and or their alliance. Each successful territory captured will provide the player and or alliance with a special benefit that is increased as their total global control levels increase. That bonus could be anything from the players choosing whether they want faster build times, refit times, crafting times, resource generation, possibly increased damage, reduced repair times, things like that. It could be a large number of aspects that is just extremely wide open. And the effect is still the same at the end of the day. And it comes down to being a very, very simple system. Capture a territory and be rewarded to whatever you've chosen. So, if you want resources, you get resources, things like that. But that draws this final concept idea to a close, everybody. If you have any questions, suggestions, or anything at all, go ahead and say so below in the comment section, because I do want to hear back from you guys about this concept idea, because it is more interesting in my eyes, but it's also fairly straightforward and standard, and at the moment, it actually needs a lot more work. However, I want to leave it up to all of us to work on the concept idea, not just throw out stats and things like that. I want everybody to have a chance to help out with a concept idea, similar to what I did with the one earlier today. But that's going to be it, everybody. Be safe out in the void, happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.